I was initially drawn to this class because the IT field is something that's always interested me, and I saw this as a really good opportunity to do things in school that people don't get to do until they go to college. A lot of schools don't have these types of programs that have this high-tech technology in their school, and I saw it as a really good opportunity to learn a lot of things I didn't know.
In the 7th and 8th grade, we took a lot of those personality tests to figure out what type of career we should choose. And a lot of mine had to do with things like computers, and I heard the IT program here was really good, so I decided to take a class and I fell in love with it.
What I teach here, and I teach 9, 10, 11, and 12th grade students, is basically informatics, and that is getting the right information to the right people in the right amount of time using the right devices. Freshmen, sophomores, and that run their own companies through SAGE, which is Students for the Advancement of Global Entrepreneurship. They develop and run revenue-generating companies and work with high-end industries. Well, I see them come in here as freshmen, somewhat timid, shy, afraid. I can be a little bit intimidating. Once they get used to my system, though, they sign on for every course they can take. Through a period of 4 years, they will leave ready for a professional business or skip levels of college.
Financial services is a class that helps you for life after high school, after college, meaning that a lot of the skills that aren't typically taught in schools, I would say financial services focuses on as far as like entrepreneurship, teach you how to open up your own business. We learn like how to do our own taxes in here, and that's important stuff.
The kids, when they're at the credit union, they totally run it themselves. Every single day, they go get the cash boxes, and then they count the cash to balance it. And then throughout the day, they do all of our transactions.
I came drew to financial services through a group of friends of mine, and them just telling me it was a fun program and they enjoyed this class, and it was an awesome teacher that they had running this class, and I was just like intrigued after that, so I had to see it for my own self. So I actually took the intro to fundamental accounting in this class my sophomore year, and I just loved it from the start.
Financial services is a 2-year program for juniors and seniors. It's an honors level class, and the students learn about entrepreneurship, about accounting, personal finance, and corporate finance. And by the end of the 2 years, they've earned 12 college credits through our partnership with Cincinnati State. They have opportunities for leadership, to get experience in the workplace, in financial services through our partners with the Cincinnati Police Federal Credit Union. I think more and more students need to be leaving high school with some financial literacy, but they don't really get that in a lot of other classes. So hopefully the students will gain some exposure to life skills they need, how to budget their money, how to use credit cards responsibly, how to apply for student loans, how to get insurance, shop for cars. Simple things that you need to survive that they're not really picking up. So the program is much more than that, but I think at that level students really leave high school with a better understanding of what the world's like.
It kind of all started whenever I was young. My dad worked in construction since he was 14, and he's always made me go outside and do different stuff. And when we planted plants and worked with stone, I actually helped my dad pave our front porch with pavers.
What drew me to the program was I already had a job in landscaping, and I wanted to further my knowledge in it. What's most important to me is all the experience I'm getting, and I'll be ready to go into the workforce right after high school.
The program has really evolved since we started. We started out with basically no equipment, or not very much. We had some hand tools, and we've gotten donations. Last year we got some chainsaws and weed eaters and blowers and mowing equipment now. The community's been generous, and some of our vendors have been very generous to us. And then we brought heavy equipment in this year. We got a grant, and we bought a mini excavator, a dingo walk-behind, a bobcat skid steer, and also a regular skid steer, which is very important for students to know how to run those pieces of equipment, because in the industry, that's the mainstay.
I've always wanted to surf. That's always been in my blood. It kind of just something that drew me into. I settled on Butler mainly because it provides everything here. Looking at an overview of the 10 months provided me with everything that I would need in order to get onto the road once I graduated.
I chose Butler Tech because I've heard that the academy here is a really good academy, has good instructors, a lot of instructors from Butler County Sheriff's Office that are well respected. So based on the well-respected instructors and the convenience of the academy, I chose to go to Butler Tech.
We have a 22-stall indoor range. We have some of the best and most qualified instructors. They are boots on the ground. They teach them, as we like to say, they teach them the things that they've learned the hard way. Seeing students walk in being afraid of the firearm. And over that 60+ hour period, we convey information. That knowledge helps them to overcome that concern, anxiety, or fear that they have a firearm. And by the end of that 60+ hours and almost 1,000 rounds of ammo, they're competent with a weapon that may have to protect them at some point in time. And that's really, really rewarding for me. Our hours exceed that of OPATA, the Ohio Police Officers Training Academy. We serve more students every year than any other organization in the state of Ohio.
One word that describes School of the Arts for me would definitely be family. I think the most important thing was that I found really a home that I was able to operate and learn well in and feel like I was going to be successful. And the teachers here are fantastic, but just the fact that we all have something in common just really makes us closer and provides a feeling of families.
If I had to use one word to describe the school, it would be family for sure. It just doesn't even feel like a school here. I feel like I'm just in a big group of my friends and people who love me and doing what I love most. It feels like one big family.
This school is different than most high schools. Our students come here every day and they practice their art. 2 days a week, all they do is practice their art. They go into practice rooms, we have band rehearsals. Of course, all of the academics have to be done. So for me to get the most out of a performance, I have to instill in my students the importance of the academics. They have to do that first. Get it out of the way so we can do what we're here to do, which is to make music, to become our art.
This place definitely gave me the confidence to perform. Beforehand, I was really nervous, but now I'll get on stage and do whatever in front of everybody. It's great. This school has helped a lot.
We had a show last night where our students got on the stage and we have professional lights and professional sound. It's all student run. And when they finished their first number, I looked around the audience and jaws were wide open. And I noticed that mine was too.
Finding SOA definitely was a dream come true.
When I'm up on stage performing, it's like actually like one of the greatest feelings. So much adrenaline and everyone's watching you, but in the end when they're all cheering for you, it's like, that was me up there. This school is awesome.
It is so fun to fly them and just playing with them.
I've been learning about drones, how to fly them. It's been fun.
We flew some big drones with cameras on them. Then we're editing videos with them and adding music and sound effects and all that stuff to the videos.
We're incorporating drone technology all across our campuses and our satellite locations, and I cannot wait to show you what we have planned in the coming years when it comes to drone technology. So drone technology is being adopted by tons of business and industries all across the U.S. Ohio is the 7th largest drone community in the country. So I think we're just now breaking the surface of what we can eventually use for drone technology. And you're really providing a niche for them to expand their horizons, not even in drones, but if that student's interested in flying drones, oh, I maybe want to go into aviation, or if I like taking photos of drones, oh, I want to go into graphic design or be a digital media specialist. Or how does a drone talk to the controller and the computer? Oh, I want to be a computer programmer. So we think that drone technology is just being a single viewpoint, but it's really an umbrella and a gateway for any industry.
Well, I first learned about the IT program through my counselors, obviously. We'd heard a lot about it from other students at Madison who said, you know, I'm going to Butler Tech. After visiting IT, I saw all of the technology and I got to meet Mr. Newman and I really liked the atmosphere. I was like, wow, this seems like a place that I would want to be every day.
Well, they're going to get college and career ready here. They're going to get the experience that they need here. And they're going to get the hands-on experience, the on-the-job training, the co-op opportunities, the job shadowing opportunities, also the college prep, the CCP classes. They're going to get college ready in this program, without a doubt.
I just thought it was going to be like, you know, you take a couple classes a day, you're going to sit there and you're going to code all day. They're going to give you a bunch of scenarios, but really they give you a lot of freedom in what you want to do. Newman came to us, I think, just before summer started and said, hey, I got an email from MIT saying that we can do this MIT Invent Team thing. They've been doing it for a couple of years. I had an idea for a Tesla engine, which if you have no knowledge on that, the Tesla engine's basically impossible, but it's really innovative and a lot of people will submit it, and it shows how inventive you are mentally. We barely got into the MIT Invent Team finalist, and now we're working on it a little bit more so that we can get in and get the grant.
You know, they got selected for that because of their ability to think outside. I mean, to dream something that no one's ever done. That's one of the reasons why they were selected as being one of the runner-ups, because they thought, you know, the impossible. They thought that they could do that. So I really think that's pretty cool. I like that. You know, they think way ahead that they can accomplish this, or they can really do this. That's pretty inspiring to me, and I can tell to you too as well.
I think we might try aquaponics. My first thought is, I don't even know what that is. And we got here and it's like, this is really big. And it's just been a really cool experience for me because it's things I've never done before. And I'm just really excited to see what's all gonna happen in it.
So it's like growing plants in water with a clay type media, which is not the soil, but it's what holds it in there. And then it uses the fish's manure as fertilizer to keep those plants growing.
You have plants in a different setup where it runs through, and that biomaterial is the nutrients for the plants, so you don't have to have any other fertilizers or anything. It all comes from the fish.
It's important because by like 2050, we're supposed to have like 9.5 billion people. And with that, we need to make new innovative ways of growing more plants. And so to do that, we need new things like the aquaponics and the hydroponics.
Well, it takes up less space, so you could have more of these systems in a tinier space. And it's just a lot better for the environment because of how less water you use, and you don't use chemicals like insecticides that we use for farming now.
And that can be done in buildings or on rooftops in like the cities, letting more food and more natural food into the cities and letting people know where it's grown. So that way we can feed a lot more people with the limited space we're going to have.
Once we are done with here with the system, at the end of the year we're thinking about doing a fish fry for us and saying that we did this. We're raising we're eating what we raised, and then we're going to send all of our kale and all of our products to people that are going to need it.
I was at a bioscience summit meeting and just happened to sit down and with Dr. Joseph, who was the CEO of Westchester Hospital. He gave me his card and said, call me in May and we'll set something up. So I called in May and he says, I'm going to have you work with Tom Deskalakis. So I met with Tom. He had ideas, I had ideas. We were bouncing ideas around and came up with a 10-student rotation that would start the following September.
And what's unique about Butler Tech is they have multiple students that are pursuing degrees in biotech. And Butler Tech has this wonderful reputation of being in the community, pulling from all over the area, and it seemed just a natural for us to work with them.
So at Butler Tech, I got state tested as a nursing assistant, and that's a requirement to work here, but they trained me on how to do everything that I do at the hospital.
The relationship has grown tremendously. So in year one, when we first opened up, it was a couple of job shadowings. It was primarily some of the simple departments like surgery, physical therapy, respiratory therapy. We also expanded it into hospitality services.
So being able to come here and shadow different positions really made me realize what I was interested in and that I wanted to go into the nursing field.
But after I started working here, I knew people from where I would shadow here, so familiar faces, it made it a little less scary for like a new job.
They really are exposed. They get that authentic learning. Nothing beats the real thing. So when they are out here, you know, up close standing next to the professional that they're with, they really get a much better sense of the authentic thing.
Because of being at Butler Tech, because of their exposure at Westchester Hospital, our kids are not only doing better on college interviews, job interviews, but also getting scholarships because they can put these types of experiences down.
It's like family at Butler Tech, and that's really an experience you can't go wrong with.
Project Life is serving students with intellectual disabilities, autism spectrum disorders, and other disabilities that can be a real barrier to integrated community employment. And our goal is to help our interns gain the skills, the independence that they need to be as independent as possible as young adults and also find employment.
And so Project Life was created to be a building block. They come out of high school, they spend some time with us and build those prerequisite skills, and then most of them move on to Project Search.
Project Life, the programming model is designed to be more flexible than what your typical high school schedule may be. In this program, we're able to focus more on the needs of the students, the strengths, the employability skills, the independent living skills, their social communication skills, and really get away from that, like the Common Core curriculum, and the skills they learn in this program apply more to what they're going to do after school.
It's a good opportunity for kids with disabilities to get out there and work and get to know the community, and so that I can be able to get a job.
I know after it's over, it will be a good reference because I was a hard worker and I stayed on task.
They exceeded our expectations from day one. They came in, we show everybody how to do the job safely, and they just excelled at it. You can't even describe how great they did just walking into a situation where they didn't even know what to do, getting the hour-and-a-half training, and then coming back the next day and just doing the job the way it was supposed to be done. They did excellent.
We realized our potential in the summer of 2016 when the administrators at Project Search approached us and said, hey, a lot of folks are asking us, what are you doing, what can we do to prepare students for Project Search? And Project Search is a one-year, very intensive employment-focused program. They came to us and they said, you know, when we're asked that question, what we think about is Butler Tech Project Life.